Hi, today is November 14th, 2025, and here are my poems for the day. The first one is poem number 1766 for the year, Hungry Jacks. One fun fact is that when Burger King wanted to establish restaurants in Australia, there were already restaurants in Australia that had already trademarked the name Burger King. The parent company of Burger King owned a brand of pancake and waffle mix called Hungry Jacks. So they were like, okay, fuck you then. We'll call our restaurant Hungry Jacks instead of Burger King. And you know what else? We're going to kick Australian Burger King's ass. And that is what they did. So the next time you're in Australia and you want to go to the home of the Whopper, head on over to Hungry Jacks. I'm not saying you'll be glad you did, but I'm not saying you'll be sad either. Poem number 1767. The Dildo Tree. I well remember hot and musty summers when Delores and I would sit lazily beneath the dildo tree and watch the dildos ripen and grow until the weight of them would bend the branches of the dildo tree. Now and again one looked so ripe that we simply had to reach up and pull it down. We would peel them and plunge them slowly into each other's mouths. Such bliss! Oh, how I miss those delightful days under the dildo tree with Dolores. I hear she's in investment banking now. Well, good for her. I wonder if she ever thinks of me and those ripe and luscious dildos and the dildo tree. Poem number 1768, The Testicle Bush. Terry and I spent many an autumn morning picking testicles off the bush and packing them into 1-pint berry baskets. Then, in the afternoon, we'd be all set up at the roadside stand selling testicles for $3 a pint. It wasn't easy work, but it wasn't all that hard either. And you know, those testicles weren't going to pick themselves. And if you didn't pick them, they'd fall off the bush and get trampled on, and then you'd just have testicle juice all over everywhere, and people could slip and hurt themselves and then sue you and maybe take your whole testicle farm away. And then where would you be? So yeah, me and Terry would pick up those testicles and pack them up and sell them off. I hear Terry runs a hedge fund now. Well, good for her. Poem number 1769, The Vagina Canal. Lest you think that I will just write any poem based on any title that pops into my head, I want you to know that I just thought of a title, The Vagina Canal, and I'm not going to write it. Nor will I write The Breast Mountains. David Lynch already created Twin Peaks. Nor will I write The Valley of the Ass. If I had written any two of those, I'd be done for the day, but instead I've written this, and now I must write one more. And the last poem of the day, poem number 1770, Hunan League. I had this friend David back in the early 80s, and he wanted to start a Human League cover band called Hunan League. We'll do Human League songs in Chinese, he said. I said nothing. A few weeks later, David was like, Chinese is hard, especially now in the 80s when we don't even have Google Translate yet. So I'm thinking Hunan League can just do Human League covers in a Chinese accent. This time I spoke up. You can't do that, David, I said. It's racist. And David was like, yeah, I guess you're right, but you got to admit, Hunan League is a really good idea for a band. And I had to admit it was. All right, that's it. Thank you. I appreciate you.